Raymond? So we're live now while we're screwing around with this. So now people can come in and start yakking. Can you see me yet?
I
Really?
see I see you on air. You are.
Yeah, I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna try starting virtual. Oh,
And
let me do.
this is gonna be over YouTube, of course.
Oh yeah, this is on YouTube right now. This is the best time to test things out. We'll see if anybody joins in and watches and goes, "What the heck is going on?" Let's see if I go
Well,
OBS virtual camera.
another friend of mine,
What?
uh, oh God, Lower Michigan Adventures.
Oh, that's not gonna work. Yeah.
He he does the vertical format, the shorts format, and he's gotten up to 40,000 views on shorts. Uh, Forget
Okay, hold on.
20,
No,
20.
you don't see me at all in there.
Mm-mm.
Let me do this. Come on, get in there. Copy that. And let's go
Seeing back on air.
copy. Hmm. So I want to see what you see here. Paste.
Uh-oh.
What's going on?
Nothing. I was trying some controls there to see if I could pick you up. I don't really
Yeah.
want to touch anything, or I could knock myself off air, I guess.
Pixel Pro. Okay.
Anyway, people are seeing this. I'm sure it's on air now. Uh,
They are.
I think,
Start.
I see two people. That's probably you and I. Wait a minute. Now I see it, but I see you at the
You
bottom
see
of the
me holding up the camera to the
computer. Yeah.
in. I don't know why you didn't see that before. That's weird. So now if I hang this up, do you still see
Now,
me?
no,
Oh.
no, it went out.
Okay, just a second here. Bit. Let's do that. Oh, there's people in here watching us screw around. Happy New Year.
Hello, everybody. Or first day of the year, anyway. About to be the second.
Yeah, let's see if there's any. Oh, there's a bunch of comments too.
See, I don't see comments. You're gonna have to. Anybody
Yeah, have to
ask
figure
them?
that out. Lower Michigan Adventures is on here. You were just talking about him. Good thing you didn't say
Oh,
anything bad
hey,
about him.
Jimmy boy. Now I was kind of
And
bragging on your views. You got what was
and we
it,
got Juliana Martin blog.
40,000 views on one night just before Christmas. There
Yeah,
you
that was
go,
terrible.
Ben.
It's bizarre. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get it so it shows the thing there. Hi, Mike. Hobbies Hoba. How you doing? Do this.
It could be because I'm in vertical. I'm not getting anything.
Ah.
There you go.
Oh, I got it upside down. Do I? No, no. There, look, we got 2. Look at that. It's all fancy.
Hmm.
140,028 days views. That's what he said. Lower Michigan Adventures.
He went for what, 6, 7 hours that day too.
Jeez, that's a long
A
time.
long live.
Yeah, we're having fun here. We're screwing around with the with this Video Ninja, streaming into OBS to do a live stream. Trying to figure it out, see what kinks to get unraveled. Ah, I wonder how I could share that to the so you can't see the chat. I guess you'd have to bring up your iPad and watch the chat on there.
Hmm. I'm really not sure how I could do that.
Oh, you just log into the live stream. Just watch the live stream itself.
On YouTube.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Let's
that's where
see.
we are. We're on YouTube.
Well, let me
We're live.
3 watching.
We're on YouTube.
Well, let me turn the
We're live. Yeah, you want to mute
3
that.
watching.
We're on YouTube.
Okay, turn the volume down on it. Okay. And I see Joe's Outdoor Places. And I see
Yeah,
you. You're on 2 cameras.
that's right. I put on a second one, and then all of a sudden you were able to see that one, which is kind of weird.
Oh,
And
be.
now you don't see that camera.
That's interesting. Let's see. There's a pretty good lag. Let's see. One. Wait. It's confusing if I watch me. Uh,
I see you instantly. Like when you're
well,
talking and when you're moving, I see you instant in while we're doing this. I mean, don't watch it off your iPad. That's delayed.
that's the problem. I could look at the chat. Let's see. I see Juliana Martin. See Jimmy Boy, Lower Michigan
And we got
Adventures,
Hobbies Hobo on there.
Hobbies Hobo. Hello.
Yeah, his last one he was cooking up blood sausage.
Oh,
Part
that's
was that your last video? Was that your last video, Mike?
we call that boudin in Louisiana. Uh, it's pork blood and rice. It's good stuff. Shalisa's Shell just dropped a new video. I saw her bottle openers. Yeah.
Hobbies Hobo. Yep.
Yeah, it's great stuff. At least our version is here in Louisiana. Um,
So I put on this thing. This has anybody seen these goals for the super chats yet? I guess they brought that out a couple weeks ago. Have you seen that on yours, Joe? I mean,
no, I think I've heard
you got like
Jamie talk about it, but I haven't done any lives. Um,
yeah, hobbies hobo. Sorry, just listening right now. I've been typing all day, emails, etc. No problem. Joe and I are just Joe's just helping me out. I'm just screwing around trying to play with this thing, see what happens, and go from there. So you don't have it on yours, Joe? Like if you when you log in, there should be a thingamahooey. Let me share my screen and show you.
if I logged in on the iPad, I'd probably have it, but I don't have no way to conveniently hold the iPad at the proper angle. Uh,
Where is it? This one.
I'm not sure I'm going to sit here and hold the iPad like this for that long. just sit here and chat.
Yeah, it'll show up here right in the top right corner. Are you seeing it on the screen right now?
I see, yeah, I see your screen, but I've got it. I've got it here on my iPad. I've got in front of me.
Oh, you're showing it there that you have it. You have that option.
I don't get it showing up on mine either. Um, yeah, I've got it, but not on the camera I'm using.
Yeah.
Well, this is pretty interesting. What's the advantage of using this over YouTube's version?
Well, I'm sharing a screen with you right now.
Oh, you can't do that with
Oh,
YouTube.
no, and I
Uh,
can have multiple people in here.
oh, okay.
So as many as the computer will allow. Because right now, technically, we've got three people in here. So we've got you, me, and then another, my other phone here.
Okay. So
So, and I
with
can
you,
also,
well, I think with the YouTube vertical, you can share with one other person. I think
yes,
Jamie did that.
yes, but then you're with the YouTube vertical, you can share with one other person, but then you're restricted to doing that on the shorts
Vert
feed.
Shorts feed. And you prefer to be on the long feed.
Um, I would for most of my stuff. Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Well, Jamie's had trouble with trolls on the shorts feed. You get a lot of trolls.
Yeah, I bet you do.
He could tell you about it. They come up with some pretty nasty comments.
Watch the other things that I can do with this is I can highlight you, and now you're the only person on the screen.
Hey,
See?
yeah,
So I can
yeah.
do that. I can say, "Oh, I don't want you to hear," or yeah, well, I don't want you to hear what I'm saying, so I can deafen you. So now you can't hear anything. I'm talking, you
Hmm.
can't hear nothing.
Is there a fee for this program?
No, no,
My goodness.
no. And I can even stop you from seeing stuff on your screen that you logged in with.
I see that the director has disabled your vision.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and like this.
So yeah, you can do that. You can mute them. Everything. I can if you're too loud, I can lower the volume on you. I can raise it. Um, what else can we do on this? Oh, like the avatar. So where you see on my age one that I'm logged in on, that I started with the director one. So if I undo that, so I'm back, but I can say I got to get up and go do something. I can just put the avatar on there. And so it shows I'm still on, but I'm just not at my screen.
I see that. That's pretty neat. Uh, Jamie made a comment. I need a tripod for my iPad. I keep forgetting to order one. Uh, well, that's in the eye of the beholder.
Oh,
Jimmy boy, he's saying I look good on the camera.
Hill's Outdoor Adventures. Hi Danny, how you doing?
Uh, Hills
So,
Outdoors Adventures. Hello. Well, I
yeah,
like
so
this.
there's a lot that can be done with this, and it's free. You hook it into OBS, which is also free. You got to do a little bit of configuration. Um,
Okay.
and but once you get it set up, it's good. I mean, I spent most of today screwing around with it, trying to trying to see what happens, and then I wanted to go live here, um, say hi to everybody, and also try this out.
Okay.
Um,
Again, I'm not familiar with OBS. I hate to say that, but I'm not. What is OBS?
Well, that's so I use that for live streaming. So you can use that for live streaming, and that's what this is. This connects into YouTube. And you can also use it for screen recording. I mean, that's basically what it's doing. It's recording the screen and then shoving it over to YouTube. But I've
Hmm.
also done it for screen recording. So when I want to do a video based on setup and stuff like that, like I've done some videos on DaVinci Resolve, and I've screen recorded all of those through here. And let's see here while I'm chatting. Can you use that up on the short feed through vertical? I think the only way you can do short feed right now is through your phone, or you can certainly do a vertical feed on this. I'm just not sure how to get it into YouTube. I haven't played with that yet. And Hills Outdoor Adventures. Good, good. Just getting up for work. Jeez, what time is it? 4:30 in the morning there. Oh my God. These bakers have to get up so early.
Or is that in the UK or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. 4:30 in the morning. Hmm. I'll probably be up till 4:30 in the morning here. It's 10:30 p.m. here.
Yeah. Well, oh, yeah, you're only 2 hours ahead.
And Michigan Adventures, he gets up pretty early for work too. He's up gonna spend a little time before he goes to work, getting ready and walking his dog. He's got a good neighborhood, evidently. I don't go out at night around here. Well, I like this.
Yeah.
I'll have to I'll have
Yes.
to I'll have to look into it.
Somebody-
Well,
Absolutely.
you're doing very well with your DaVinci Resolve. I really like the work you're putting out. It's great. I wish I had the computing power for it. Right now, I'm using, oh God, what is it? It's an Apple program on my iPad. And I like it, but just you're limited. DaVinci Resolve, now that's you did something different here.
Yeah, I hid the other one. I hid the other camera. And then I can open up this one. Just playing around, just seeing what works, what doesn't. I think what I do need to figure out, so I need to figure out a way that you can see um what's actually streaming out live. So I think that's a big thing. That's helpful for somebody that's in a chat to see what's going on, see the other person, and maybe even see what the screen is showing.
Well,
Because right now,
I'm
go ahead.
fine on the camera I'm using. I'm fine, but when I look at when I'm joining on YouTube, it's about a 5 to 7 second delay actually.
Well, it is. Yeah, I've noticed that there is a bit of a delay there. Um, but on the camera, it can show. Maybe it's because you've got it. No, no, it should still show you even if it's vertical. It still shows me. Um, but yeah, I've done a frame up. Like you can see, this is I've got the At Ages Adventures on the side for my Instagram handle, and then I've got the Ko-fi um, thing showing there. What I want to do is actually, oh, where is it? Or coffee, I should say. Kofi.
That's, I see that. Yeah.
That but watch this just a second here. I'm gonna Let me go here. Let me go here. And this is what would happen. So if you watch it on your iPad, this is when it comes up. This is what it would happen if somebody donated.
Oh, okay. New donation. That's pretty good.
So it's all fun and games with these things. But this, have you heard of it? Have you heard of Ko-Fi?
No.
Ah, let me talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, look at that. Oh, and then I see it says Ko-Fi bot. New donation from someone. So it's actually putting it in the chat too. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I saw that.
Lower Michigan Adventures is up for the day now.
He goes to work early. I mean, he does day shift, but he likes to get up early to have his day before going to work. I used to do the same thing when I was on different shifts. I hated to get up and go to work right away.
Well, that could be true. Let's see here. Um, Let me quickly show you this Ko-Fi. Let's see if there's anything on here that I shouldn't be showing. Just quickly go through this. Actually, I can show my page. There we go. So let's do this. Go back to here, control room, and then I'm gonna share. Okay, so let me know when you see it on your screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ko-Fi is kind of like Patreon. It's got the same sort of thing. So you've got the except for Patreon doesn't have one-off donations. This has one-off donations or tips or whatever you want to call them. You know, it's like similar to Buy Me a Coffee. It's also got monthly, so you can set up the how much per month if somebody wants to do that. You can set up tiers for it, so you can do the same as Patreon and set up um, donation tier level amounts, and people get different things with different amounts. Um, you can set up it says, oh, you should set up a goal, and people are more likely to donate. So you can set up a goal. So what all the money's going towards. So I just put purchase GoPro Hero 13 and put that as a goal. And then every time somebody donates, whatever percent would come off this line here. Um, and then you can have chats in here, so you can do posts and say, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. There is, I don't have it showing on here because I haven't set it up. You can also sell products on here. So you can sell digital products. So say you made a template for something, or some notes on how to light the perfect fire. You wrote a checklist on how to light the perfect fire. You could put it on here and you could set it for $0, and people can then download it and they decide whether they want to pay a little extra for it if it's like, they're really happy with it or something like that. Um, and you can also do, oh, I don't have it on here. You can also sell like your services or do a commission. So say you're a builder, you could say have somebody, you could say I'll build a chair for you, and you could put what the price is, the lowest price. It was like $100, and then somebody could give you $150 if they wanted on that, and pay for it, and then you build them the chair and send it to them, and it collect whatever delivery fees, although you have to set the delivery fees. So you have to go find out what they are. They don't go and do the dynamic looking up where people are and putting that. You have to put that in, unfortunately. Um, so yeah, and then you can have like different. No, I don't have this one with pictures on this account. So you can do different things on here. So it's and what was I gonna say? There's different. There's a free account, and then there's a one that's it's still free, but you pay for it through whatever that they take a bit off your donation. So the free one, all the money comes straight through to you that gets donated. It goes through
Mm.
PayPal. PayPal takes their cut, which is like 2.9% plus the 30 cents a transaction. So all of that comes through, or you can go for the gold account in this, which will take off 5% of that, and then PayPal will take off their amount. And that goes towards supporting this actual site, and it gives you a few extra features to it. But I'm on the free one right now, so anything that come in there would go through PayPal and just take that. Whereas if you're on Patreon, Patreon's going to take their cut, which is what is it now, 12%?
I don't
Something
I don't
like
know. I've never made anything through it or investigated it. I've
that.
I've got a Patreon account, but I just wanted
Yeah,
to get it, before anybody else would uh, have a Joe's outdoor places. Uh, Someone was using my stuff on Facebook, as you remember.
yeah.
Haven't checked on that lately. Oh, you just gotta.
Hey, Lower Michigan Adventures. As I turn back here, thank you very much.
If I'm not paying attention to the chat, someone forgive me. Uh, Maybe I should have logged in through my laptop. I don't know.
Well, you probably don't see it sounds like you're not going to see the full amount of like what's going on the screen. Anyway, I wonder if there's a way to, I'll have to look and research it and see if there's a way to get it to show the chat. Might not be once you're coming in. Maybe it's just me that sees the chat, and then you'd have to have another device to see the chat like you're doing now.
Hmm. Well,
So,
next time I'll try from the laptop. Um, I just figured it'd be easier to hold the phone than it would be, because
well, then it would.
I don't have a desk like you have yet. That's what this will be when I get done with it. I've been getting offers for that mic like you have, a studio mic. I don't know what you call them, and I haven't taken any offers on it because I have no use for them. Is
Sorry, I
that
missed what you said. I was reading what Lower Michigan was writing here. What did you say? Sorry about the desktop.
yeah, the mic that you're using there? It's a studio mic, I guess. I've had some offers to do collaborations on them, but I don't have a use for them. I will once I get this room set up. This is going to be like a studio where I can.
Yeah, I got this mic. I'll have to look up what the brand of it is. It's like a cheapo Amazon one.
But
And then I got, go ahead.
I've gotten collaborations on lighting and chairs, and I'll be able to fix up my studio just on stuff uh, they've been offering me. But I've been turning it down because I didn't have a place up until now. But this is going to be it.
Well, it's good. You should take it all. Take it all
Yeah,
that they're offering.
I try. Um, uh,
I
they,
went and got I went to Walmart and got a couple. I got the lights that I have now. I got them this month. Um, Let me get this camera. Let me go here. Let me unhide. So these lights here,
yeah.
I got those, so a couple of those are like 50 bucks Canadian. And then that light in the corner there, in the door, I got that for that was like 30 bucks or something. And then this mic here, um can't remember how much that was. I got that earlier this year. Let me just hide that guy. I got it earlier this year, so I thought I could do better voiceovers with it. And I'm not sure. How does the sound to you?
Great.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, before when I was doing it, I had I had my Rode mic that was wireless mic that I had clipped in. And that's I think the sound's a little bit better on that, but it's setting it up, and then afterwards I've got to download the sound and stuff like that, the way
uh,
I've been doing it. Whereas this is like right into the computer. So it's nice, and then you can, move it around wherever you want.
well, it's nice. I think the sound is great. I'd love to compare it to a Rhodes, but I can't see where it would be better either way. The sound is really nice. And I want to apologize. I think Jamie, that's what I say, take everything. Yeah. uh, there's some crazy offers that come in though. Uh, a lot of, oh God, software, different software that I wouldn't know how to use, obviously, because I wouldn't know how to use this, I don't think.
Well, it's all just, yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, that's for sure. And the software can be complicated or as easy as you want it to be. And this, I'm gonna do I'll probably do a video showing how to set this up. Um, I've been, so I haven't told anybody on my channel yet, but I put together another channel where I'm doing, um, sort of creator support help. Let me show you here, and maybe you'll like it. Where am I?
Well, if you have the knowledge to help people, uh, that's a great idea. And if you're going to give
Yeah.
out information or help with people, I would charge for that too, to be honest with you.
Well,
Uh,
this is what I got here so far. Control room. Let me share my screen. Oh man, how do I get rid of these things? So I share my screen again. So every time I share my screen on my desktop here, it keeps adding another thing to the. Oh no, 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 it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I'm just crazy. Uh, Here's my new channel. That's what I've got. I put a lot into it this last month because I've been trying to get stuff up there to just have stuff for people to look at when they first log into it, and then I can slow down. So what I've got a bunch of DaVinci Resolve stuff because I know it.
yeah,
And I do just simple things like, how do we put a circle on an object? How do we have that circle, follow that object? And I actually walk through the step by step putting that on. Same thing as like, do a fancy video title, easy fixing horizon. I also talk about if you got copyright claims on your videos that you shouldn't have there. So if you've used a free site like Ben Sound or Pixabay, um, and there's a copyright claim in YouTube, you can actually get that removed quite easily if you have the license file for it. So I was because I got a copyright strike on one of my videos, and then I thought before I went and fixed it, I was like, oh, I need to record this. so I, so that's what I've been doing, little things like that. Um, and this latest one that I did yesterday, last night, late last night, was let me show you
In this
here.
video, I'm going to show you how to do a simple animated travel map.
I did this map here. So just did you see
I
that?
like that.
So I walked through the steps on how to create that in DaVinci Resolve. Um, so just simple things. I thought I'll
Well,
take the one thing at a time instead of I see a lot of these tutorials where everybody does a whole bunch of stuff or many different things or different options. It's like, let's just do, try to do one little thing at a time.
now the animated travel map, is that DaVinci Resolve or another app?
Yeah, yeah, that's DaVinci Resolve.
Oh, dang. Little things like that is what makes videos interesting rather than saying it. You could show it. I like that.
So I'll probably do a short video and saying on my Ages Adventures channel, if there's any creators out there that want to take a look, go ahead. I know that I'm sure that there's a lot of people that are on Ages Adventures that aren't going to care about that kind of stuff. So that's why it's not there.
Well, I would love to work with DaVinci Resolve. Excuse me. Um,
So yeah, and this channel is, yeah, like I said, a lot of DaVinci Resolve, but I also I'm going to be doing a lot of just talking through the process, like just basically my experience from coming up with it, like dealing with negative comments that I've got shown here, those trolls. um, how to start the YouTube channel. I've got, just basically push the record button and go. You don't need a whole lot, just the simple things. I'll talk a little bit about in one of them coming up, probably Chat GPT or Gemini and using those. Um, just to help with idea creation and maybe you can make thumbnails out of that, but they do these cheesier thumbnails like this one, helping creators succeed. That's an AI thumbnail, and you can sort of tell it's an AI thumbnail. And even the one beside it was an AI thumbnail with my picture that I plastered on there. um So yeah, I'm not big on the AI stuff for thumbnails quite yet. Although my thumbnails aren't the best, so nobody should come to me for thumbnail advice.
well, thumbnails can make it or break it, and titles. Uh, a well thought
Yes.
out title has a lot to do with it. I've still got a lot to learn with long format. Uh, it's not so important with shorts. Um, but it seems like my channel has kind of gone flat because I've been doing things a little different rather than the same, fire making techniques over and over. And I guess with shorts it don't matter because you got a new audience just about every time. Uh, it seems like the algorithm don't like you to get away from your niche too much. Uh,
Well, it's the people, right? Because that's who you've got. That's who it's targeted, is those type of people that are into that stuff. But you can get away a little bit, and also your long form videos are going to have a different different group than the short videos.
Yeah.
I know you're saying it's a problem or whatever, but it's just you're just building up an audience on long form videos, and you've already got your audience on short videos, so they're not gonna be upset if you do something different on the long form videos.
Well, the channel was started for camping, and I knew I wasn't going to be going camping that often. So I said, what can I fill in with? And I started filling in with shorts, fire making, and that's what monetized the channel. Uh, I probably wouldn't be monetized yet today if I hadn't started a shorts part of my channel. But I'd like to do more camping, especially now that I'm getting my Forerunner fixed up. It's it's just about ready for the road, and had some good fortune here in the States. When I retired, my Social Security benefits were cut because I had a state pension, and they just repealed the law that took away a portion of my Social Security benefits retirement, and I'll be getting that back, I think in March of this year, and it's retroactive back for a time. So I may use that money to finish up my Forerunner.
Nice.
Yeah, a little bonus, 2025, but something to come along to take it away. I don't know. I just have bad luck. Um, when I have good luck, something bad comes along. Snake bit.
It's not a good way to look at it. Let's
Well, I
see
mean,
here. Look,
it's my life story. It's always been that way. Uh, it could be my outlook. It could be that, but it's just so coincidental. Something good will happen, and shortly after, I could look for something bad to come along. Yeah, I'll be
well,
glad.
maybe it'll change. Maybe it'll change. But you got some good stuff now, so maybe there'll be no bad coming. Let's see
Uh,
here. Lower Michigan Adventures. I
I
would
have
take camping related stuff only through or off grid stuff as long as it applies to your channel. Educational stuff can really do well, so that's a good move on your part. They can return the favor by donations and super stickers, and a lot of people, if they find value in what you're doing, will take good care of you. Well, I hope so. Hope so. Maybe get it monetized and see what the difference in monetization is. Because that's another thing with the different niches is there'll be different ads, different payments for those ads, depending on what they are.
yeah, shorts is so pitiful. Um, the the shorts video that monetized my channel, if you look at what it's made overall, it's sad. Uh, I don't know if they don't advertise that much on shorts or what, but
Well, they
it's
can't.
well, I mean, don't they stick an ad in after every two or three shorts? I've got premium, so I don't know how it works.
I think it's after every, I don't know. Not even sure I've seen an ad. Probably after about every 10, I think.
They'll stick an ad in. Okay, well, that
Yeah.
makes,
But that's if you're on the phone and it'll be there, but you don't have to watch the ad. You can scroll right on by the ad, I think.
I didn't know
So,
that.
where you're supposed to monetize it is really not on the not on the ad revenue, but on the sponsorships. So you need to start getting people to pay you to do what you're doing. Because you've got what, 75,000 subscribers now? Maybe
Pretty
more.
close. Pretty close, yeah.
Um, so you can get paid for the stuff that you do. And you should ask to get paid. Um, I joined a, a, um, a Discord. So first on Reddit, there's a partnered YouTube Reddit that you can read, and that's anybody that's basically a YouTube partner like you and me. Well, anybody can read it, but it's geared towards YouTube partners. And then you can also sign up for Discord, um, and go in there, and you must be a YouTube partner, and they verify that. And then you get in there, and one of the things that they say is that for any of these things that are coming in, is the minimum you should be asking for. I think it's like 175 bucks. So that's if
Mm,
somebody says, "Hey, I want you to review this," you go, "All right, send the product, 175 bucks."
mm. Well, that.
Um, unless it's something, unless they're giving you an e-bike, but for most of the things, and then they said also on that, they said, and also the product is not part of the payment. The product is a prop, and that stays with you.
I'll be. Well,
So,
I tell you, the e-bike has been the hardest thing ever. Um, I've had several offers to the point where they're asking my address, and I'm thinking they're going to be shipping it, and then I don't hear from them. And I don't know if they're just waiting for the right time of the year or what, and it'll pop up. Uh, the last thing I got was a White Duck brand tent, and
yep.
it just popped up. They didn't even tell me it was shipped. So uh, it's very strange. Now, Blue Eddy, you had to jump through a lot of hoops for Blue Eddy. They sent me a form to electronically sign, and it wasn't a script, but it was points that I had to make in the video. Uh, they were very, very strict about that.
Did they pay you?
No, but
Oh,
one channel, he said that he got, I think it was $3,000 from Blue
yeah.
Eddy. Uh,
All you needed to do was like that's a big company. That's a bigger name company. All you needed to say was, "All right," and say my fee is.
I'll try that next time.
So really, like and that's another thing I'm going to talk about on my channel too. It's they get us creators and they say, "Hey, will you do this?" And then they don't mention payment and stuff like that. And if you say, "Yeah," well, of course you're going to get it for free. But if you say, "Hey, I have 75,000 subscribers. My payment is going to be this. And this is how many," and especially if you've got views to go behind it too, like I get X number of views on my shorts and stuff like that, then yeah, it carries some weight, and you get to actually negotiate and get paid for that, because that is, I mean, they're paying for your influence, like you have influence.
Mm, I don't know. I try to be very modest about my channel because it's mostly a shorts channel, and my long form videos get a very modest amount of views. So I may have 75,000 subscribers, and my shorts do get pretty good views, but my long ones, um, is kind of sad, really, when you look at the amount of subscribers. But they don't
Yep.
translate over. Uh, People
They
either
don't
watch
try,
the
that's
short.
right. So if you're doing a short for them, you need to charge that. And also, if they're, you also need to check if they're going to be using your video. If they're going to use your video, um, then you definitely need to get paid for that. Then you're
Well,
creating advertising.
they pretty much all require that or ask if they have rights to use it.
Oh,
Uh,
then you need to get paid.
yeah, Blue Eddy did want that right. That was in the agreement. So uh, I guess they could use all or part. Where I don't know.
Yeah, well, they use it on their own promotions. So they
Uh,
basically used you as a marketing person to put together that video. So you do need to it's something you should start talking about with them.
I have given it some thought, and instead of, they really have I don't know what you'd call it, a good deal going. with YouTube creators, because some YouTube creators are just fantastic. They're almost like professional ad people, and they're getting good material for probably nothing, rather than hiring an ad company. They're just gleaming people from YouTube and coming out way ahead.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and so they're looking for like the stuff that we do, even as beginners, is we're doing what's called user generated content, and there's um a whole big oh, what am I gonna say? Industry around it, or a whole subsect of places where people do user generated content and they get paid for that. They say how much, and some of them aren't getting paid a lot. They're getting like $50 a video or $75 a video, but other people are getting thousands for these videos and doing shorts content. So it might not be a short on YouTube, because when they use it, they'll take it and they'll put it on their social stuff. So they might put it as a reel on Facebook, or they might put it on Instagram, or they might put it on LinkedIn and stuff like that. And Lower Michigan Adventures is saying you do have influence. He's 100% correct. And they could be paying you up based on where you're at with no quarrels. Yep. See? Not the only one.
well, the Blue Eddy product, I didn't want to jeopardize when they said, "What do you charge?" I didn't want to jeopardize not getting the product. I'm happy with that for right now. But once I've gotten, the e-bike, let's say the second one, then I might say, yeah, I'll charge for that. But the first one is kind of like, the first fish you catch, and then after that, it's all gravy. When you go fishing, that
Oh
first
yeah.
fish you
So
really
maybe
go
for
after.
those, but some of the other stuff that comes in you could charge for that you don't care about.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense now, because there's quite a few things that I'm really not interested in. I might use that to test the waters on that. That's a good idea.
And it
That's a
gives you
good idea.
practice making a video.
Yeah. Um, but then again, some of them ask for 8 to 10 minute videos, which is not the shorts uh, format. Uh, but I have done some where I've told them I only do shorts. And I have seen those come up on I've seen them come up on Instagram, like for UCO. Uh,
Yeah.
Two of my shorts I did for them, I've seen on Instagram just by accident. I was surprised to see it there.
See what I mean? They should have paid for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
one of
And
them that
and 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 how long are they allowed to use it for?
I don't, oh God. I think so. If I recall, a year. Some of them have said a year. I think they have the rights to it. Uh,
Yeah. So
you got me thinking.
this is great stuff that I need to talk about in my other channel.
Yeah,
And then put in
yeah.
videos. Absolutely. Um, and just to it's just something to that's part of the other channel is just to really help people navigate some of this stuff and know, because I mean, when you started, there's so much stuff all over the place, and there's nobody, collating it into one place, it seems like.
Well, yeah, Jamie's always getting on to me that I should take more advantage of things. Um, One channel, I don't know, I guess I can mention other channels. Ozark Overland Adventures. When
Yeah.
he starts any video, he's got 3 or 4 ads at the bottom, and I'm sure they pay for that, these companies.
Yeah.
And but there is something you might want to touch upon too in one of your videos. I hear that YouTube requires that banner in the beginning that it's a paid ad, and 90% of people don't do that. So they're basically going against YouTube policy.
So YouTube wants that. They don't seem to be enforcing that because I've seen some bigger ones that don't have that on, and it's you know, I like to follow the rules, right? I just for these things, right? It's the same as like with my taxes. It's like I like to be so if the tax man came and said, "Hey, there's something wrong," I'd be like what could be wrong? Like I'm not going to get screwed over there. And it's the same with this is a paid promotion. That is more of the reason they put that there is because that's more of a governmental thing. So the US government requires that you disclose that it's a paid promotion. I don't know, depending on where you are,
In the world.
I'm not sure whether you 100% need to have that checked off or not. But I know for Canada, I need to mention it in the video. And the law also says if the platform has something like YouTube there where you can check that box, says you must have that as well. So I've seen some Canadian people where they don't tick that off, and I'm like, you're breaking Canadian law.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's not just a matter of YouTube, whereas YouTube says, yeah, you need to have this, and they give examples and they specifically say that, and you absolutely should have that there. I don't think that's going to get you kicked out if you don't have it turned on. It's whether your state government or your federal government is going to get upset at you, and that's what you need to worry about.
I see. Mm.
And that's why I say, like, I like to follow the rules. Like, a for YouTube is like I don't want to get kicked out of YouTube, and I know that um, there's a lot of people that they get the strikes against them, and I've seen them as like, oh, that's BS, just YouTube doing whatever. And it's like, well, they kind of specify in their rules that, you shouldn't be, showing a kill shot of an animal. That's they're gonna want to take, they're gonna want to demonetize that video. Um, so things like that I try to watch out for. But then when it comes to, where I can get fined by the government or, things like that, then yeah, I'm trying to be careful about that.
Yeah,
And I think
getting
in the
fined.
States, like, if you don't declare it, it's the FTC, Federal Trade yeah,
Federal
Federal
Trade
Trade Commission.
Commission.
They're the ones that'll come after you.
Yeah, Lower Michigan Adventures again pointed that out to me. Uh, a disclaimer you should put in your narrative description that I'm going to start doing. Yeah, I like to follow all the rules. Um, Fines in the United States could be horrible, thousands of dollars if you break federal law. So it's not a good idea to do it.
Yeah, and I think for that one, for that paid promotion one, I'm not 100% sure whether the government requires it or not. I think the US federal government suggests it, but your state laws might be different too. So I
But
didn't
your
even
but your Canadian law specifies.
my Canadian law specifies it. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And I
it's
thought
really
about it. It's not a bad thing to have up there, really.
no better safe than
Like,
sorry.
yeah, I know when I first started, it's like, oh my God, then people aren't going to watch the video. Sure, they are. If you put out good stuff and you've got a good reputation, why wouldn't they look at it? As long as you're
I've,
not.
I've read in comments, not often, but a few times. As soon as I see it's an ad, I cut it off. You've lost me as a subscriber. And I don't know what their problem is. I mean, like you say, if you're a good creator and you've got good content, what difference should it make to that person? That's just someone being uh, irrational, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, and there's who was it? Probably Nick Nimmin or some of those other ones that like people that have channels that help creators. Um, they're saying, you're gonna gain subscribers and you're gonna lose subscribers. That's part of the game. And he was showing like, hey, I've got 912,000, 912,000 subscribers. But then you go and look, I lost half a million or half a million subscribers through the
Oh my
time that
God.
he's been on YouTube. Right. So he's gained subscribers and then he's lost subscribers. And so he's at a net of 912,000, but if you go and look in YouTube Studio and look at how many subscribers you've lost, his shows half a million.
Oh my goodness. Well, that
And
has to
we're
be
not at those.
something.
Go ahead.
That has to be something to get that gold button. The silver one is pretty good, but the gold, that's a million subscribers, right?
That's a million. So he hasn't made it to a million yet. He's still,
And then I think the next milestone is 10 million. And
yeah,
there's only 7 or 8 that's ever done that. And then you get to design your own button,
yes.
like Mr. Beast.
Well, yes, yes. But then you've got to do those types of videos, as in he's, it'll be interesting to see whether he stays in that kid zone or whether he, as he gets older, he's going to have to do a more mature audience because his
Uh,
videos are definitely geared at kids.
he's already broken away from YouTube with some of his products. And I believe now that there's even a television show, I think, in the works. So he may be able to just say goodbye to YouTube or dictate to them what he's going to do. You know,
He does
uh,
have that television show, but that's only the one. I mean, he could say goodbye anyway. I mean, he's worth a ton of money.
he gives away a lot of money. That's what started his channel, if I'm not mistaken. His
Yes.
first sponsor, paid sponsor, I think was $5,000, and he took that $5,000 and just went to a homeless person on the street and gave that money to that person, and that's what kicked off his channel, I think. But
That is. The only difference is he told that story is they offered him 5,000 and he said to the people, he said, make it 10. And they said,
okay,
why? And he says, 10 sounds better.
well, he just right place at the right time with the right idea. Uh,
Oh, exactly. Let me read what Lower Michigan Adventures here says. Just like the aviation with the flying drones, it's more of a protection for you, they don't they don't police that's inside the federal aviation. It's better to be safe than sorry that have disclosure and also somebody that is close to me. Not sure. That's a professional that makes thousands of dollars, did all his homework.
with the drone, for us to use a drone here in the States, you have to have a Part 107 aviation license. You take everything just like a pilot would, except you don't have to fly an airplane. But everything else is the same. You have to learn what to do to fly an airplane, how to fly it in and out of airports, what to avoid. You've got to be able to read the topo map,
Yeah.
understand the communications. You have to understand some aerodynamics. It's a heck of a test, uh, just to make a YouTube video. But what I say, and I think what Jamie's talking about, the FAA has way more fish to fry than, say, me taking a picture of my campsite with a drone. Um, if I'm not doing any harm, I don't think they're going to really worry too much about that small infraction.
Probably not. They're probably not going to be going searching for it. They'll probably based on if you get a complaint.
A complaint.
Yeah.
But I think more so if there's any property damage or something, or you cause some harm, it would probably really fall down on you hard.
Yeah.
Uh, or if you're flying it in the the wrong area. Um, some of these drones can't fly. I mean, I think they're computerized where they can't fly in certain areas, but you can overcome that. Um, like national parks, we can't fly in national parks or federal lands, some state lands. They don't want you. In fact, I would have never bought the drone had I known what you can't do with it. You can't do much with it. It's not a good investment here. But you told me in Canada, what? It's not a big license like that. You could fly them.
Well, for the micro, so anything under 249 grams or under, you don't need a license for, and you can fly them um, pretty much anywhere except for, over some major places. Like you can't fly it over a prison. Um, you can't, I mean, technically you could fly it over an airport, I think. No, you're not supposed to fly it over an airport. There's some they've got the airspace class A, B, C, D, whatever class, and class F is you are not allowed to fly. So you need to look up that, and that's where nobody's allowed to fly except for, express authorization from uh you know, NavCan Canada, I think is called. But then if you go over the 249 grams, those drones you need to have a license. You need to have a basic pilot's license, and then you're really restricted on where you're allowed to fly. So those micro drones you can fly just about everywhere, and the reason they have that in there is because they basically said, "Oh, these are just for kids." Right? That's
Right.
what they were classified as before. They're like for kids, but they're not kids' toys anymore.
No.
Um, so I could see that change coming at some point in time where they say you need to have a license, or they're going to start honing in on where you're not allowed to fly them anymore. Um, but yeah, the micro drone I can fly a lot of places in the city here. Technically, I don't, because it's not totally safe. Um, but yeah, a little bit heavier, and you wouldn't be able to fly it anywhere in the city. There's no zone that you could fly it here. You'd have to go out of town.
But Canada don't restrict you from using it on YouTube, even the micro.
No, there's no restriction, but you're not allowed to fly in national parks. There's no flying in national parks, period. Um, and in provincial parks, there's no flying there either. And I've seen some people do that, and I'm like, oh, what are you doing? That's a $5,000 fine.
Yeah. And
and and
you're actually putting up evidence against you online too.
well, exactly. I mean, technically, I mean, if I was really a jerk, I could. Well, and it's not even being a jerk, but if I were really a jerk, I could go and point to the the provincial government and say, "Hey, look at this person. Look at their channel. They've even got their name on it. They just flew in this provincial park." And they'll go get them. There's no, "Oh, well, we'll just give you a warning." It's like, "No, no, you're getting fined."
Well, at first I couldn't understand that, but then I thought about it a while. And if I were in Yellowstone trying to look at Old Faithful and there were 40 drones flying around it wouldn't have the same the same effect. So,
Well, that and the national parks, they do it because they don't want you chasing the animals.
well, that's true. Yeah.
And I've seen enough of that. People flying the drones close and you can see the animals running away, and it's like, what are you doing?
Now, United States regulations, everything that flies that isn't a drone has dominion over that drone. In other words, I have to yield to birds. I can't, if I see a bird, I have to get out of that bird's way. Uh, but at the same time, uh, the drone is protected. There's so many people here. If I see a drone over my property, I'm going to shoot it down. Well, that's the same here. That's the same as shooting at any aircraft. It's
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
don't shoot that drone. You could be in big trouble. That could be jail time, federal pen. But
Jamie's
anyway,
put some stuff here. YouTube does not please set the YouTube does not please set the aviation. Jamie, are you doing these as voice chats? I think you are, aren't you? Does not please set the aviation when it becomes a problem. So I think it must have messed up above somehow when I was talking into the phone. Yeah, you are doing voice chat. It was not being a very good detective. YouTube put it in there so that they don't get held responsible for you flying a drone and having something happen while doing a commercial video. Worry too much unless something happens when you cause an accident and it becomes an investigation of some sort with the aviation. That is, I believe. Yeah, absolutely. That's what Joe was saying. Is that if you have an accident, that's when it's going to become a problem.
property damage, yeah. I apologize, Jamie. It's difficult for me to read the chat right now. So if you're speaking to me, I apologize.
It's
I'm,
not your chat to manage.
well, I
You're a guest on you're a guest on the video. I have to follow the chat and make sure I read these out.
well, good. I'll let you be
See?
responsible for it. I'm I'm gonna be better set up next time because I'd like to do some lives too. I think they're beneficial, and I think your viewers appreciate it because they can interact with you in real time. It's not just through comments. Uh,
Well, yeah. And then you can pull them in here and every so often have a one-on-one chat or a group chat or whatever with this what's it called again? Video Ninja.
well, your other channel in particular, I think people would find it great to be able to ask you questions in real time about your videos. Maybe there's a question they have about a certain video that you didn't cover a point, and it'll give people a chance to say, "Hey, if you don't mind your brain being picked," but it'd be
Well,
beneficial.
that's part of it. Yeah. That's something that I would do. And as Jamie says, that's when they can do the super chats or whatever if they think they got some value out of it. Right? So that's where you got that. That's how you get that going.
Now,
Um
now on this platform here, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. I do a
no,
lot
I'm listening. Yeah.
of you wouldn't have a super chat on this platform. It would be through that other app.
So that no, the super chat is actually through YouTube.
So right
So
now, someone.
Jamie gave me a super chat
Oh,
earlier.
that's right. That's right. Okay.
That was that one. But this one where I said the Ko-Fi, where it's showing on the bottom of the screen, which you don't see because you're videoed in. That's a different program, and that is you would log in there. You could log in there and give a tip there, and then it'll pop up while we're going here.
Okay. So
So
that's
that's what that
similar.
is.
I've heard of people say, "Buy me a cup of coffee,"
Yes.
or that, but I've never really looked into that. And then there's a naval pilot that I watch. He shows himself taking off and landing on carriers, and he says there's something in there. Buy me a beer. I don't know where that's at, but
That's
maybe.
that's either this one, this Ko-Fi, or Buy Me a Coffee.
uh,
They're very similar. Um, I looked at the Buy Me a Coffee one, and I think they take 5%. So, like I said,
okay,
on this one, I'm on the free, so they don't take anything off it off the top. It just goes straight through PayPal. whereas the other one goes through them, then it goes through PayPal or, was there another payment thing they do through it? I don't know. There's so many there's a number of different payment things out there that you can have, like PayPal or Stripe or, Wise and stuff like that. It's just, it's just a lot sometimes that sometimes you just gotta sit down and get focused and try to figure it out. And that's what I did with this Ko-Fi is I sort of looked at the buy me a coffee and I looked at this Ko-Fi and it just seemed the
Better
better
option.
deal to start out with. To start out with, yeah.
Super chats. Don't YouTube takes a big cut of those, don't they?
YouTube takes a cut, yeah.
I
Yeah.
heard it
But
was
it's also a
substantial.
convenience. It's also a convenience for people that are already, viewers that are already in there, right? It's you
Okay.
get them to go to another website or they can just click on there and do it all right then and there.
Mm. Well, I
So,
used I used to watch a couple. They lived in a little micro trailer, and they would have a live, and this is no lie. People would super chat hundreds of dollars to them. I don't know what the appeal was, but they made I don't know, thousands of dollars during a live. Uh,
did you watch Steve Wallace's go live? I mean, he had a live like months ago, but he showed up and I think he had 20,000, 25,000 people on the feed at one time.
my goodness.
And the super chats that he was getting, the money that was just coming in, he got thousands and thousands of dollars, and he was on there for like an hour.
Hmm.
And people were,
Seems like
like, here's $100, love you, Steve.
I wish they loved me that much.
Well, yeah, and it was just you would see them go up there. It's like, oh my God, like how much money is he taking
Well,
in from this?
I think he was at the right place at the right time too. At the beginning of the stealth camping thing, I believe he was
Mm.
one of the pioneers of it. And of course, he just has a different personality, kind of like Jamie. People need to watch Lower Michigan Adventures. He's unique. If you have that uniqueness, uh, that's a good thing too. Um, but I like Steve. He's had some bad things happen to him. Poor guy. Crazy neighbor. Of course, he lost his wife, and all that happened within a short span of time for him.
Yeah. Within like a year and a half, his
Yeah.
wife, his crazy neighbor, his mom.
Oh my goodness.
It's awful.
It is.
Awful.
Yeah. I just lost a brother last week. That was pretty awful. He's the oldest sibling in the family, and I'm the youngest. And uh, my oldest brother, the oldest is gone now, and then the next sister's still with me, and the other sister died several years ago from cancer. Now that's tragic when you lose a family member. That's a
Oh, sorry for your loss.
permanent loss. Yeah. Um, well, you're out of hiking season up there. Is it snowed in, or are you going to be able to?
No, no, no. Hiking season's gonna start now.
Really?
Well, I just finished hunting. So
Oh,
hunting
that's right.
season is done. So now I need to get back to the hiking.
Did you
Um,
did you ever get any big game?
wow, I'm gonna do the big reveal here. No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to. I don't want to give any. Have you give anything away?
It's all given away. Yeah. Um, no, I had an opportunity to pull the trigger on a buck, and I couldn't get the gun settled enough the way I wanted it to be. I
Mm,
mean, thinking about it now, I should have taken the shot. I'm pretty sure that I would have put the deer down, But at the time, um, it just it just didn't feel right, and it was late, so it was about there's about half an hour left of light. So had I missed and had to go try to find this deer, I didn't have very much time, or even to try to retrieve it. Didn't
Right.
have a lot of time. I'm not going. I don't care what other people do. I'm not going out in the bush looking for a downed deer in bear, cougar, and wolf territory. Other people can do that if they're fine. I'm just not that. Not
Well,
doing it.
that that brings up an interesting point. You'll be following a blood trail, so will the cougars and bears, and you might get there at the same time.
And that's what you
And
don't want. That's you want to be able to see what's joining you. So,
ideally, you want to drop that animal then and there. You don't want
yeah,
to have to follow a blood trail.
yeah, at any time,
Hmm.
really. Yeah.
I,
Even
I
in the
never,
day, you don't wanna have the hassle of having to go try find it or worried that it's wounded and out there now, and because that can happen too, is you can wound it and then it gets away. And
yeah,
then somebody later on, finds this animal and goes, "Oh, who's the big jerk that did this and didn't look for it?" It's like, well, animals can survive for days
yeah.
before they succumb to their injuries.
Uh, I was taught, I'm not a very experienced hunter, but I was taught after you shoot an animal that runs off, you're supposed to wait a time because they will stop and maybe bed down or
Yeah.
rest. But if you start trailing them right away, if they get up that one time and they won't stop, they'll go much further. Uh, so if you shoot something in the evening, you're going to be into the night looking for that animal. And then you got to get it out somehow. Uh,
Yeah. Well, that's
I,
the
I'm,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not a big game hunter. I prefer to go after like the grouse. That would be interesting to hunt them there. Uh, Here we don't have anything similar. Maybe duck hunting, maybe dove
Yeah.
hunting, but I don't think we have grouse. Quite sure we don't. So
Well, yeah,
fishing,
they're a little easier to find and certainly easier to you don't have to worry as much. Although the beginning of the year I had one get away from me. So, um I'm I don't think I don't think he made it. You know? I don't think it was just it scared him off. I think he had some problems, but I wasn't able to find him. He got into the thick bush and had enough to get away, and it's like that sucks.
I think you knocked a few feathers off. I remember that video, yeah.
Yeah. So
But you have some beautiful places up there to hike. Oh my goodness. Um, the only problem is the mountains climbing. I'm not good at that. I'm a flatlander.
well, you get used to it. You get used to it when you're hiking up mountains. You start getting the cardio.
Mm, well, I don't know if I could make it up there, but sure is beautiful. So you're saying you will be hiking
I will be
now?
hiking, yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good.
It'll just depend on now it's the rainy season now, so it's gonna be rain and stuff like that. And I'm not a huge fan of hiking in the rain. So,
Well, another thing you do that I like, I do love the videos where you're just driving in your Jeep down these dim roads. And there must be hundreds of miles of forest roads where they log the timber
oh
that
yeah.
you can go down. So that's another aspect that I enjoy watching when you go down the trails with the Jeep.
Maybe I'll have to create a separate channel for those. They don't do very well.
They don't?
They don't. No, no,
Well, that's
no.
unusual because Jeep
I know a
people.
lot of, it's true. There are people that like them, but on this channel, I think I've got more people want to see a person out there doing stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like they'll see a little bit of it, but they don't want it for the whole video.
Yeah.
At least it shows. Like that's looking at the numbers anyway.
Well,
So it's like people say, like, I got friends that say, "Oh, you should do this on your channel." It's like, nope, no, I shouldn't.
well, you're right. You're right. I
You
mean,
know, they say, "Oh, you
uh,
should have this funny animal or what, teddy bear, and you take it out and you do this." And it's like, nope, that's not the channel.
you you know your channel better than anyone else, of course. You know what your viewers like. Uh,
Wow,
I guess
sometimes.
hiking, yeah, the hiking is the best part. Yeah, seeing that beautiful scenery, the overlooks, just breathtaking. Um,
Well, I found people like the talking. They
the
want to hear
talking.
something. They want to
Hmm.
hear something.
Oh, babe.
Talking on the way, like saying, even if it's just moaning. It's like, oh my God, this will never end. Um, yeah, it's
Now, now, AB camping. He's unusual. Have you ever seen AB? I'm sure you've heard of AB
yeah,
camp.
he's the one that puts on a video for like 3.5 hours and he doesn't say a damn thing. It's just raining out there. It's like rain and then he'll light a fire and
Cook,
yeah.
uh, um, and get millions of views. Millions of views. I don't know.
I think it took him years to get there.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Or he got in at the right time to get that, or he promoted it to the right audience. Yeah,
Well,
I don't know. It's just, yeah, YouTube can be things that you got to figure out that you don't get right away. Like some people get them right away. Um, I know getting subscribers this last year has not been easy. Like ever since it slowed down right up till I got the 1,000. And then after that, it's been really slow for subscribers, which is a little disappointing. Like I'd like to see more subscribers come in. But then the other thing that I've seen is that my actual videos, the numbers that I'm getting on them, you put out a video and maybe you only get 100 views or 150 views. Well, now it's or sorry, even less than 100 on some of them. Now it's a slower performing video is just over 100, and then other ones will get a couple hundred or a few hundred. I'm getting ones that are getting into five, six, 800, and the odd over 1,000 and stuff like that. So it's progression in the right direction on those numbers, and I just have to think that that's what really matters at the end of the day is the
hmm.
views.
Well, I could be wrong with this analogy, but um, I kind of compare it to, uh, say, a singer. They sing and they sing well, and they get jobs here and there, but then they get that hit record, and it goes to the top of the charts. And after that, everything does better. Everything they do is better. And I think, am I wrong? Is that the same way with YouTube? Uh, you could just kind of languish there. Uh, your channel's flat, but then you do this one thing that gets thousands of views, and then after that, everything picks up for you.
It
Is that?
depends. It depends whether you follow up that video with something similar
Mhm.
or yeah. It can. It's certainly going to give you an opportunity to do that. If you can get that one that pulls people in that like that type of content that you do, um, and then maybe you've learned at that time how to do things differently. Like I'm starting now to try to do better thumbnails, certainly titles as well. Um, because I put together some videos and I'm like thinking, oh, this should do okay. And then it doesn't. And then you're just like, what? Why is that? I don't understand that. Like I've seen other people's videos and it's sort of similar. And I know that it's hard to compare like one person's video to another person because they're a different person and stuff like that. But still you look at that and then it's like, but they're not even clicking on the video. So it's like I gotta get them to click. I got them to get them to click to even decide they don't want to see that video. If they're not even doing that, if they're not doing that step, then you're not getting anywhere. So I am like this year I'm going to focus more on my try to focus on the thumbnails. Um and I say try because I'm not an artist that way, like drawing and stuff like that and that. So I'll be looking at other people's thumbnails to see sort of what they're doing and try to see if I can do that style. And then the titles. Because if you can get people to click on it, then you've got an opportunity at least to win them over.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'd rather see like 10,000 people click into a video and click right off right away than have 100 people click into a video and watch it for quite a decent amount of time. It's like, well, at least with the 10,000, it's like at least you hooked them in at the start.
I see, yeah.
Because the other way is like, hey, you might have a good video, but you're not hooking anybody in.
Mm,
And YouTube has put it in front of 10,000 people to look at, and they're choosing not to watch it. So YouTube goes, well, obviously this is crap,
mm.
and it may not be. So, but it may pick up. It may. You never know. I mean, I've been looking, watching videos on this, and some people are like watching videos or on Facebook groups and stuff like that, and people are saying that I had a video that was sitting there for like 2, 3 years, and then all of a sudden, like it did like 100 views, period, and then all of a sudden, boom, one day,
Really?
10,000 views.
Mm.
It's like, whoa.
Well, I wish a couple of mine would do that.
Well, they might. Are you still getting I mean, the millions of views on your, you still, that's what you got on some of your shorts. You got millions of views, right?
Well, the one that monetized my channel is currently, I think, at 25 million.
Yeah. So it's
Uh,
still picking up views.
that's what I call, and I've heard it called, that's an evergreen video. It
Yeah.
constantly gets views, but it's down. It's down. In the last month, my channel's gone from, say, I think it was up to 2 million every 28 days down to about 600,000 every 28 days. But it did that before. I thought it was dead. I said, oh my God, my channel, it's over, it's over. And then all of a sudden it would kick back up. I'm hoping that's what it is. Because I don't know why. I've just got this desire. I'd love to get that silver button for me, not for the money, or it has nothing to do with that. It's just an accomplishment that I would like to achieve. After that, I'll relax because
After that, I'll just shut it all off.
well, I'll never get the million. That I don't have the talent for that. In fact, I may not have the talent for the the silver. It may my channel may be flat from here on out. Um, but it's funny. I got three. I wouldn't call them viral. Maybe 25 million is that. Where's viral? What
That's
point?
viral. That's
Okay.
viral.
Well, I get one or two virals, and then it would seem out of 600, I think I've got 600 videos, there'd be a couple of more.
If you're getting 100,000 or more, they're viral.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I would
no,
say if you're getting over 10,000, you're doing very good on them. That means they're getting seen.
well,
And if you're doing 100,000 or more, then that's pretty viral.
well, I don't know. Right now, it just seems like I'll get between 3 and 10,000. Very few go above 10,000. Um, no, really, it's about 3 or 4 videos that monetize my channel. I can't really brag that everything that I do is good work. Uh, and the one that got the 25 million is a very poor video, and it gets a lot of bad comments. And somehow, I think that's what the appeal is. It's a bad video. So
No, that's the one with the matches in the water, right?
no, that's the second one. This one is just striking a ferro rod on different tenders, and
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
and eh, I was just sitting in my chair, got the idea. It took 5 or 10 minutes to make it, 5 or 10 minutes to upload it. Didn't put hardly any work into it, and the ones I spend all day on to make a 20-second video don't do anything. Strangest thing in the world. But I do it for fun. I'm retired. What else am I gonna do? You know.
Make some where you light something up and it explodes. That'll get you views.
I tried that. I have one where my hand caught on fire, and it it got some views. Uh, but I don't know how to do that intentionally. I'd probably end up in the hospital.
Use rubbing alcohol and
Well,
go, whoa.
this one was one where I drilled through a butane lighter that was full, and I didn't let the butane dissipate before I struck the ferro rod, and my hand caught on fire, or I struck the
Jeez.
lighter. Scared the heck out of me. It's funny. Bloopers. I probably should have kept a lot of bloopers. I throw them away. Um,
Throw them in there.
yeah.
Do you not save your footage?
See, that's that's another thing. My lack of technical ability and knowledge. I don't save my footage, and that it's saved. I think on Google Photos or something. I bought space. It's in there, but nothing that I have. Like I believe you bought. Didn't you buy a terabyte?
Oh,
Uh,
I got external hard drives. I got 5 terabyte external hard drives that I do. I probably fill those up every year.
Come on.
About that. I mean, well, I'm filming everything in 4K so that I have just more stuff I can zoom in and still get a half decent
Right.
video. You get a bigger picture so you can chop more stuff off if you need to. So everything in 4K. When I'm out there on the logging roads, now I'm starting to leave my GoPro running longer. I've got 3 batteries for the GoPro, and I've got a charger out there for those batteries. So now I can charge those batteries. So I can. One day I ran through 6 batteries, and just because I was able to keep charging up the batteries while I was out there, so that was one thing. Um, so so yeah, I've got all the video on the GoPro. I've got the video on my the cell phone that I'm taking stuff with. Um, if I've got a drone out there, I might have video on the drone. And I have my second cell phone camera. So my old cell phone camera, I still take that with me. And depending on what I'm filming, so if you see me do a video of a review or something, and you'll see that I've got different angles. Well, I got the other phone recording a different angle, so could have all of those stuff that have video on it, and then I just all store it on the hard drive, and some of it could be thrown away, I'm sure,
Well,
but
how's
it's
it
worth having it there just in case.
how is it cataloged or indexed where you can find it? Do you
I
uh,
don't have it indexed right now. Um, so what I am doing is I have them in folders by the day,
I
and
see.
then I was trying to do I would name the folder. I would say, oh, hunting video, whatever. So the same name as the video that's up on YouTube. I would try to do that. But now I'm starting to do I'm starting to get multiple videos out of some of these. Like one video I got one day I got 8 videos worth out of it. Just because I'd done so much. Because when I go out hunting, when I go out in the bush there, I mean, it takes me 2 hours to get out there, 2.5 hours to get out there. I'm gonna spend all the time out there until it's dark.
Right.
And so it's a full day, and then I drive back for another 2.5 hours. So I might even have footage of when I drive out there, but not a lot anymore. Um, and then if I go, I might hike down one trail, and I might be able to get a video out of that. And I might go do some target shooting, and then I might go do another trail. So I
Mm,
just take it, and now as I'm doing it, and with DaVinci Resolve, I'm learning how to use that to do multiple timelines, so multiple videos on one project, and I can cut and paste in between them, and do all my shorts out of
my
that.
goodness. That's amazing.
And the other thing I've decided to do is also put up videos, parts of those videos for sale on a site called Pond 5. Um, so yeah, I've got all that stuff there, and so it's worth it to just to me right now to save that video. I may need it one day, and then who knows.
Okay, we talked about driving videos. How well does your cooking videos do? Because I love those.
Well, those do well. Those do well, absolutely, depending on what it is.
Yeah,
Um, Certainly when I did the Trangia, because everybody, the Trangia is a big name out there. So I did one where it was like Trangia cooking this, and that one did well. I mean, well for me. It's not super good. I think I got, 1,500, 1,800 um, views on that. So that's good for my channel, for the subscribers that I have, the active subscribers and the ones that are watching longs, because it's great that we can see where our subscribers come from on the analytics.
right.
And I have more that came from shorts than I do that came for the long form videos. So I'm starting to build up those subscribers now. And that's why I'm getting more views, I think, is because I'm starting to build up that subscriber base. So yeah, the cooking videos. So yes, there are some that do well, some that don't do so well, and it just depends what you know,
Depends on the recipe. Well,
depends on the recipe, depends on it. It probably depends on like I said, the thumbnail and the title.
well, yeah, I do enjoy cooking videos, especially outdoors.
Yeah,
Uh,
I do too. I do too. I think they're good. Um, so I'll be doing that. I've got some cooking gear that I still haven't used. I've got stuff from like that's a year old. Like I've got a Coleman camp oven. So one of those that I want to use and bake something in there. Maybe a loaf of bread or maybe a roast or something like that. And I still haven't Still haven't gone out and done that. And now I've got a smaller, oh, there are my hands, yeah. A smaller, reasonable sized Dutch oven. So it's like a 2 quart instead of the one that I
Yeah.
have at home, one that I'll use on the stove here is a 4 quart. So I needed something a little smaller, something a little more reasonable. So I have one of those. I've got a way to make a tripod to hang it with. So I've got one of those little attachments. So I've got that stuff. So I'm going to be going out and certainly doing that.
Yeah, those little Dutch ovens are nice. I think mine's a quart and a half. It's a small one, but it's got the lid. You could put the coals on top and bake with it. Uh, I used to do a lot of cooking with it years ago. I was the camp cook uh, in our group when we used to mud ride in the swamp. Um, I tried to put a little bit of that on my channel with pictures that I have, the few pictures that I have, because I don't want people to think that I'm new at being in the woods. I've been living in the woods my whole life. It's just careers kept me away for a time, but I've hiked and camped since I can remember the first tent that I erected was in my yard when I was about 5 years old, using blankets out of the house. And it's just always something that I love. But four-wheel drives, uh, we would go in the swamp where you could actually sink your truck if you're not careful. Uh, and if I'd have had YouTube back then, I think I'd have had a great channel because we did some crazy stuff with those four-wheel drives. uh, and I probably would be arrested for what we had the kids do helping us. It was dangerous for all of us. And I think we went during a tropical storm one time that was skirting the area. We've gone during ice storms, and certainly when it was raining, hot, cold, we just went, had fun, caught fish. But we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have cell phones. We had no communication whatsoever. So it was some rough camping. But I was the camp cook.
Well, get out and do more of it. I've seen you cooking videos. You cook some good stuff up there.
Yeah, yeah. I enjoy it. But it's a chore. I enjoy making videos, but sometimes it's just nice to do something without all the rigmarole of recording it. You know what I'm talking about. Like you're hiking. Uh, you have to set a camera, hike, come back. It's a job. And sometimes I'm sure you just want to get out there and hike.
Yeah, and sometimes I won't do all of that stuff, and I'll just have it on my Gorilla Pod like so. Let me make sure that that's sealed up, and I'll just have it, you know, like this.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that.
That's easier rather than putting it down and stuff. Like I do a lot of hiking like this already,
Hmm.
and talk to the camera. It's you're right, the stopping and the placing it and walking by it. And so the days that I don't feel like doing that, I won't, but I'll still talk to the camera. There's been a couple days where I haven't talked to the camera at all for the longest period, and then maybe at the end I'll start talking to it or whatever whenever I feel like it. But yeah, I mean, certainly setting up for the cooking video can be a lot of rigmarole, but a way around that could be just putting the tripod up and that's it, and just leave it there and see what comes out of it.
Well, that's true. And if you do something wrong when you're cooking or burn something or add the ingredient at the wrong time or forget to, you can't go back and redo it. You kind of
Yeah.
stop. Um, I don't know. It could be fun, but at times it can be a job too. So, But all in all, I enjoy your channel. I look forward to seeing New Age's adventure uh, videos. I hope you don't give that up in lieu of the other channel.
No, 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 I'm not giving that up. That's the main channel. That's the thing there. It's just this other one. I've got all this information that I wanted to share, and I think it's another avenue that I could eventually um monetize and go from there. And I know that some people think that we should do videos just for the altruistic nature and stuff like that, and that's all great, but got to pay the bills, right? And
Well,
that's I mean, if I won the lottery, then I could do that, but I haven't won the lottery yet. So, and
well,
I've got a full-time job, so I've got to do that, and it's like
yeah,
it would be a lot easier. It would be a lot easier if I got rid of that full-time job, and then I could just do this YouTube stuff and have that time go there. And that's, I've had the time off this Christmas time, and I have put a heck of a lot of time into videos and stuff like that. Like I've been doing that. So it's maybe one day there'll be freedom from it, or maybe there won't be. Maybe it'll
yeah.
just be where we are. But I do know if I quit, then I won't succeed.
Well, that's true. Us retired people sometimes forget there are people still working. Um, I forget that. Y'all do have full-time jobs. You have obligations too. And I don't know how y'all could do, you know, some of the YouTubes you do in the short time you have to do it. Um,
Well, I know. Yeah, sometimes it's definitely burning the candle at both ends, but
yeah,
we'll see. I mean, I was able to get monetized last year, or well, actually this year. Last year. Well, yeah, 2024. I was able to get monetized in 2024, and I was happy to get there. I remember when I was first going for the 1,000 subscribers and then the watch time, and somebody was saying, it's like, oh, well, they don't pay you much anyway. Like I got monetized and I'm getting nothing. And I said, hey, I said, even if they give me $5 a month, that's better than, like I'll take that.
well,
Why
it's
wouldn't I?
fine. It's
Why
better
wouldn't
than
I? Somebody wants to
better
give me
than that.
five, I'll take it. Um, so that they were that quieted them down, and I think it's yeah, it's somewhere to start, and then you're getting a little bit, and then you work at your video skills, and you work at your editing skills, and hopefully as we get better, more people come along
Right.
and join in, and there's I'm sure for everybody there's like a ton of people out there that would enjoy watching their stuff. It's just you gotta find them.
Yeah. Well, age. I wasn't thinking about my battery. I'm at 5% on this phone. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't know at what point it may not go down to 1% before it
before
shuts
it cuts
down.
off, eh?
Uh, I'm enjoying this, but I have no control over that. Um, are you going to
Time to end
continue?
it once it dies.
Well, I mean, if I just cut off, you'll know what happened, but I just, in case you want to end,
Yeah. You'll just cut it it'll just cut off, and I'll just go, "Yeah, that Joe guy, what a jerk. He just left without saying goodbye. Wouldn't trust him as far as you could throw him, man." That's what's gonna happen. That's
well, I know I was on something, face time or something, and it gave me a message. It said we may be shutting down the app soon. You don't have the power or something. So I'm thinking that it could shut down before it gets down to 0 or 1. Uh,
Well, you know what? It's probably already said that to you.
it may have.
Maybe it's already said that to you, and it's just gonna Oh no, because you're not videoing. Oh yeah, well actually you are. You are. It's using your camera. So yeah,
Yeah.
it might just shut down on you.
Do you
I've
know?
had my camera where I've been out filming um on a hike and all of a sudden I'll hear it make a sound and I'm still filming and then when I get back it's all of a sudden I look at it it's like whoa there's like 2% left holy
Yeah.
so,
Well, I don't have anything I could rig up either right away.
so right behind you I see a power bank right there look at that
Let's
big
see.
old
Can't quite make it. Oh, oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I didn't know this was in here. Let me see if this will work. Ah,
oh geez you got a power bank with you
well, I didn't know it was there. I must have been charging it. Well, we're hooked up.
oh look at you
4%. We'll see. No, I'd love to uh, find out more about your channel, and I'm sure anybody that's watching wants to know more about Age's adventures. Um, do you plan on venturing out away from your area? Do you have any vacations, say down here or somewhere else in Canada planned?
um I don't have anything planned now I think the first thing is I might do some northern Vancouver Island, um, because most of my stuff, all the stuff that you've seen of mine, has been like southern Vancouver Island. Like I'm not even in the mid of Vancouver Island. I haven't even gone to the north of Vancouver Island. I mean, it's a big island. What is it? 200 miles long, I think. 200 and something. So I haven't gone the full length of it. So there's places there I can go. Certainly would like to go onto the mainland of British Columbia and do some traveling there. And I'll probably be doing some of that now that I'm getting some ad revenue coming in. So a little bit of that, and that can help pay for the ferries across to Vancouver, and then I can travel the interior. Another place I would like to go is I would like to go to Yellowstone. Um, I think I could do a road trip there, but then after that, it's just sort of, but that would be in the future. I've just got my stomach's growling here. Um, it'll just depend on finances because right now I've got the condo building. We just had our balconies redone and work on that stuff done. That cost me a whole pile of money. I still need to get the enclosures done. That's going to cost me some money. And then we got to see whether the project is over budget or not. We haven't heard about that yet, and whether we're going to throw money at that. So I have been living rather, semi-frugally.
Yeah,
And certainly with the price of gas here and stuff like that, when I've been going on my hunting trips, when I first started hunting 7 seasons ago, I think it's 7 seasons, 6 years ago, 7 seasons, yeah. Um, I would drive around all day, and it was like money and gas, but now the gas is like way higher, double what it was back then, almost. Um, Now I just go to one area and I'll be doing more of the stuff that I should be doing anyway, which is still hunting and hiking in the forest there rather than driving around a lot. So find an area where I can be there. So saves. I'm probably using maybe about half the amount of gas now when I do that
Right.
traveling.
Um, Gas, pretty reasonable here. Uh, Trouble with me is my vehicle only gets like 15 to 17 miles per gallon. And maybe it's going to do less once I put the new roof rack. And if I put a rooftop tent, it's going to be more drag. So
Yeah.
it could drop down quite a bit more. So I hate that gas, uh, heck, I'm old enough to remember gas at like 35 cents a gallon. You know, that'd be wonderful if we could get back to those days. You could buy $1 worth of gas when I was a teenager and ride around all afternoon.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Times have changed. Uh,
They have, but it certainly didn't help that when COVID came, everything went
oh my God.
skyrocketing up, and then it still hasn't. Well, I mean, gas went down to cheap, but then it bounced right back up again right
Hmm.
after they removed all the restrictions, bounced up even higher, and yeah, it's
You you
wow, that's
probably
expensive.
you probably up around our West Coast prices. I think in California it's up above $5 a gallon for regular. I'm not
Oh
sure.
yeah, we're more than that. We're about 8.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, US.
Oh my gosh.
Let me see here. Let's go. Um, so what do I got? 3.79. Let's see what it is. It's about 170 CAD to USD. $1.18. Maybe it's not that high anymore. Times. No, we're about the 5. 4.50 to $5 a gallon right now.
Well, that's about like our US. I mean
Yeah.
our West Coast, California.
US. Yeah.
Um, yeah, the gas companies, they always talk about, somebody fixing gas prices. Well, that's a global market. The gas companies, they're the ones that fix the gas prices. I'm sure it has to do with some countries' politics and whatnot, but for the most part, we don't have no control over that. It's like some food pricing. But anyway, uh, food is out of this world here. Oh my goodness. I used to be able to go to the store and spend about $20 for groceries. Now it's $50. Food seems
Oh,
like
yeah. Meat. Meat
oh,
is expensive. Um, Avocados are expensive.
I love avocados too.
Can't have my avocado toast anymore.
Well, one of my resolutions is I'm gonna have a meatless meal every other day. My heart doctor's been after me to do that for years. And so tomorrow, I had meat tonight. So tomorrow it's going to be, I think, like a vegetable stir fry. Uh, as long as the cost of my my one vice, my few beers in the evening don't go too high, I'm okay. But I can't do much about that. I do enjoy having a couple of beers in the afternoon.
There's
But
no
I could,
meat and beer.
but meat. I love to eat meat, but I can do without it really. Uh, Vegetable stir fries can be good. They can be good, and it don't have to be meatless. You could throw a few little chunks of meat in there, and it's even better. But that was one of my resolutions. I need to get back down, my weight back down, because I know I can't walk the miles that I did a few years back. And I dang sure couldn't climb up no mountain in your area. I'd have to take the elevator.
Well, I go see my doctor in a week, and I know that he's going to tell me you need to lose weight. So,
I've heard that all my life. Um, and then I like soft drinks. I'm not a water drinker. I don't know why. I just can't, and that's a bad thing. Uh, all you need is water, and I don't drink enough of that. So, but anyway, no, that's one thing you do have too that I don't have. You have some beautiful country uh, to showcase in your videos. Louisiana's beautiful. Our swamps can be beautiful. We just don't have access to it. Louisiana's never um, put much into trails and uh, that type of recreation. And it drives me crazy. I've seen other states, they'll have what, rail to trail trails and dedicated hiking, walking, biking trails. We just don't have that here. It's pitiful. It's a shame. The longest trail in Louisiana, the longest trail is 30 miles. And that's just, it's pitiful.
well, that's 30 miles that you can start with today. Get out there and do it.
Well, I want to do it. I really do. But the sad thing is, it's in our national forest and it's exactly the same scenery from beginning to end. Just pine trees. Just nothing but pine trees, no scenery, no water, no lakes, no streams. It's very boring, very boring. Uh, Wildlife. Uh, Now that's something I'd like to incorporate more into my camping videos, but you need a pretty good camera to capture wildlife, and I
Oh,
don't
you
have.
keep talking. I'm hearing you. I've just got to go to my fridge here.
I would love to invest in a good camera with a telephoto lens. Cameras are not bad. The camera bodies are not bad, but those lenses, oh my goodness, that's what that's what
Uh, doesn't look the right color in the video.
what is that?
Oh, it's just crystal light.
Crystal light. I drank a lot of that. Um, but my favorite right now is Diet 7 Up. I drink a bunch of Diet 7 Up. Oh, do you ever do any fishing?
Um, I have all the fishing gear, and I haven't for the last couple of years, but I really need to get out and do it again. Um, Problem is I don't have a boat for the ocean, so it's not the easiest fishing from the shore. There are some places that it can be done, but it's like where those places that it can be done where I'm gonna be, not in the midst of a bunch of other people.
Right.
Um, Certainly I have a small, one of those collapsible fishing rods that I keep in the Jeep for when I go on the back roads and find some lakes and stuff like that. But I've always run out of time because I'll either be out hunting or I'll be out hiking, and then by the time I'm done, it's like it's all of a sudden it's dark. It's like, oh.
Mm.
So
Well, this
I keep
spring, I'm sorry.
go ahead. No, go
Oh,
ahead.
this spring, I wanted to do some surf fishing. Last summer, I was lucky enough to meet up with a guy on the beach. He was surf fishing, and you have to wade out past the breaking water and throw into, where the waves are or not. And then you walk back and set your pole. And it's kind of like a tight line fishing. And he caught some huge redfish while I was there. And he taught me how to do that. So this spring when the water warms up, uh, I'd like to do that and incorporate that into some of my videos. I think that might be interesting to people. They like the crabbing, someone to do more crabbing. Uh, Probably a little bit more along the coast of Louisiana. Uh, Not the
Oh yeah,
most
I've got my
beautiful
crab
part.
gear, so I can go crabbing.
Oh, that's right. Y'all have to have crabs. That's right. That's saltwater, isn't it? Yeah. I love seafood. I mean, um, it's not just for sport. I love to eat what comes out of the water, just about anything. Um, I could eat fish. That could be my only meat, and I'd be happy.
Oh really? No, I wouldn't be happy with just that. No, thank you.
Really? Well, you gotta add everything to it. You got shrimp and oysters and um, all the different fish. It to me, it's good. I enjoy it. Oh, me, but yeah. Um,
Oh, what's here? So let's see, nice topics. And then Jamie said he was here. And he says, don't do the rooftop tent on, one of our mentors said they're dangerous. We got to look out for Uncle Joe. I don't know how they're dangerous.
I think he
Um,
fell out of it.
somebody fell out of a rooftop tent. Were they drinking?
Well, climbing up and down the ladder.
Yeah.
Uh, I will say this at my age, I'm going to hit 70 in February. You do have to do things a little bit slower and more carefully because, you have balance issues and strength issues. But for the most part, I could do everything I've always done, just I have to be a little more careful and not quite as fast. But for my age, I think I get along pretty good. Uh, there's a lot of people who are 70 that they can't live independent, you know,
Can't do anything. Yeah.
can't do anything, and I still pretty much do. Now, like when I get in and out of my truck, I used to jump from the bed of the truck. I don't do things like that anymore. I don't think that's prudent when you're at my age. I don't know how brittle my bones are, so I don't want to jump and break nothing. But for the most part, I don't say I'm too old because once you start saying you're too old to do stuff, you become too old to do stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'd be more worried about the knees if you're jumping from the bed of the truck.
Yeah, yeah. That
More
I
worried
don't
about the
jump.
knees, not the bones necessarily, but the knees. Um, I find myself, well, just because I wear a heavy pack, I find myself um, not, making sure that I'm steady and not jumping, rock to rock and stuff like that. Because
Right.
had some ones where I've slipped off and almost busted things. So I almost busted my elbow on one where I was going to jump off and I slipped instead. The rock was, I guess it was mossy or wet or something like that, and it went whoosh on my back, on my elbow, just smashed it. And I thought like, oh my God, I busted something. Didn't, but sure felt like it. Um, so yeah, I walk a little more, take things a little bit more carefully out there now, just out of
Well,
that abundance of caution and the fact that I've got a, you know, 20, 25 pound pack on the back is it just makes you, less balanced and stuff like that.
there's a one trail I can remember you going up or down. Heck, if you lose your footing, it looks like it'd be quite a fall. One of them, it's almost like
There's a
rock
few of them,
climbing.
yeah.
Uh, so you have no choice but to be careful. Uh,
So
we
yeah, I was gonna say, and the some of the ground is like gravelly, and so that's just like walking on marbles, and and especially or even if it's dusty, like in the summertime when it's really dry and it's your feet are just slipping on that stuff. So yeah, I've slowed down and take a little care on those
Right.
things. It's not like when I was a kid when I grew up in the interior and stuff like that, and I'd be bounding over rocks and jumping up stuff, not a care in the world, and it was just didn't have the conditions that we have here on Vancouver Island, where it's a little
Yeah.
slippier.
Well, I do things like that vicariously through others. Like I love watching rock climbing, and I'm not going to think of names, but there's one young man that climbed. Oh shoot, what is it? Not El Capitan, maybe El Capitan. Free solo, 3,000 feet with no ropes. He made a movie of it. I've got the movie. Uh, I don't know how people can do that. I have no idea because you have to be perfect. It has to be a perfect climb or you die. Uh, and a lot of them do.
A lot of them do. They end
Yeah,
up dead. Yep.
I don't, I
Because it
don't, I don't want to fall, not without a parachute. But stuff like that in deep sea diving, I love to watch people do it. Caving, I like to watch people do it. Uh, I like to watch you climb your mountains, but as far as doing it, nah, I'll pass on that. Now, I've always, from the time I was a teenager, wished I could hike the Appalachian Trail. Um,
you
and I
still got
never give
time.
up on that, huh?
I said you still got time.
No, that's what I'm saying. I never give up on that dream. I always look at it as something I could do. I could do. And there are people that have done it in their 80s. But of course, those are exceptional people that were probably remarkable athletes in their youth and still have that ability. But it's just beautiful. Some of the spots through the Appalachians are it's just beautiful. I love mountains. I really do love mountains. Just don't want to climb any. Not in a dangerous way.
2025, time to get yourself out there doing the Appalachian Trail. There you go. You're retired. You got no excuses. You don't have to book time off. Yeah.
I really don't have any excuses, and I have the gear for it. I have everything I need to do it, and it's not really that expensive. It'd be less expensive for me to live out on the trail than to live. I could shut down everything here at the house and live great out there on the trail. Um, I might have to start thinking about that again, Age. But I want to see your part of the country. Maybe not Canada, but my area of the United States in the Pacific Northwest. I want
Yeah.
to see the redwoods. That's got to be awesome. Have you seen redwoods?
No, no, I haven't been down there to. Well,
Uh, I didn't know if y'all had them or not.
no, we've got big cedar trees here, though. We've got um, what are they called? Big cedar trees and big spruce trees, and so we've got some pretty big trees out here. And that's one of the ones that I should do. Go to one of the old growth forests and show you the trees here.
Oh yeah,
So I'll
yeah.
definitely do that in one of my videos because there's some massive trees out there.
There's still some
Um,
old growth.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
there's still some old growth around here, and then it's funny because some of the second growth and third growth is pretty big too. And you'll see some people doing videos saying, "Oh, I'm just out in the old growth forest, and they're gonna take this." And I saw it on one of the there's a popular channel up here, and he was talking about like, oh, I was hunting in the old growth forest and thinking, they flagged it and they're going to just cut it down, and somebody said, that's second growth forest, dude. You can see the stump right there. Like, so he's like, well, I know, but it's been here for a while. So it's like really old, it seems old to me. It's like, well, it's not. You don't have to lie to people. You can just say they're going to cut down this forest. Don't say it's an old growth forest because that's a hot topic word here.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, some of that, it's still amazing. I'm amazed when I'm out in the forest, and a lot of the, I'm in second growth forest or even third growth forest where I'm hunting and all this stuff. And just looking at that, like I'll look up at the size of the trees and go, like, these are really massive. And it's crazy to think that whoops, that this whole place was logged, like it was just barren of any trees at one point.
mm.
And these massive suckers are up here now. And that's when you think, when are they coming to log it?
Well, there was probably a day where they didn't even think about conservation. They just went in and ripped everything out. At least now they're thinking about conservation. Uh, but I still hate to when you show some of your videos, and it's ugly to look at the way they have to forest. I mean, uh, I hate to see it, but I understand there's a need for it, and I do understand that there are conservation practices being followed. So they're not ruining the country. Uh, it's going to grow back.
It's gonna grow back. And it's the way it's been done. I don't know what the practices were. I'll have to go look them up. But I mean, they've certainly been replanting for well over 100 years now. Because I've seen some pretty old signs out there that replanted in 1940 and replanted in, so when they were putting signs up. Um, but they knew even back then, at least here, I mean, British Columbia is not very old for one, for being populated. Um, and even the west coast of the US isn't that, super duper
Right.
old either. Um, so I think about that time they were sort of still, there were some conservation thoughts coming around. Maybe when they first came in the 1600s, they didn't care and they mowed everything
Mhm.
down in Canada and the US.
Right.
Um, but there's been a little, and it's gets stricter and stricter all the time. Um, but yeah, certainly when you see it and they cut it down and they do it, and it's like, well, I'm never going to see a full forest there again, right? It's beyond my lifetime now. Now it's going to be another 50, 60 years for those trees to be fully mature.
Right.
Well, to be a decent size, and then even more, probably 80 years for a tree to be really tall. Um, yeah, I mean, you're certainly seeing a lot of it, and it's the thing is that I'm out of town though. What bothers me is when they do it. They're starting to do it in this town called Lake Cowichan, and now you're seeing it from the town, right? They're when they do it, and they do a fresh cut, and it's like, well, now I understand why people are complaining so much. Is because you've got this beautiful lake that tourists go to, and they look up, and there's a whole clear cut side of the mountain.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
couldn't you have done it on the other side of the mountain where nobody sees it?
Yeah.
Well, there's tons of it to do. Like they don't have to do it. You don't have to do it right there.
Yeah. Um, Another thing I'm surprised at, a lot of people don't realize, and correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of United States lumber comes from Canada. We import a lot of Canadian timber.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
There's a lot that comes because, Well, you got the population, you need trees.
Yeah. Um, what we call pine here. I don't think they call it pine. They call it, it's another name like white lumber or something when you go to the
Oh, a
store.
softwood. It's called softwood. So it would be so we growing up, it called everything that had needles a pine tree. And that's not correct. There's like spruce and there's fir,
Right.
and then the pine trees are the ones with the long needles, and they've either got the three in a cluster or the five or seven in a cluster, and that's more like what a pine tree is. And then
Right.
the Christmas trees are basically fir trees. And then a spruce tree will look like a Christmas tree, except their needles are a little bit different. And but yeah, we've got a lot of spruce and fir that get logged here, and they'll get sent down to the States or, wherever else. And then on the coast is a lot of cedar as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I was surprised. I didn't know that. But, um, a lot of our lumber comes from Canada. Um, we've got a good partnership, I think, in North America. We've got Canada, the United States, and Mexico. Mexico has its problems, but we could have worse neighbors. uh, my dog's hobbling around looking for food, I think.
Oh, I thought maybe your lizard was there again. Your pet
I, th-
lizard.
I found I found one dead. I don't know if that's the one that I had watered or not. I guess they get trapped in here as it's getting cold. They somehow come in through the attic or something. I don't know. I find them in here, during the winter. And when I had my grow room, well, there's one right there on the table. Uh, they could find water, and there's usually plants in here they'd be growing, so they got a little micro environment inside the house. And he's sitting there, maybe waiting for me to leave because I've got a plant right behind me. That may be where he does his hunting. Um, this is my favorite little room, uh, where like I said, I did my gardening in here, and now it's going to be camping, uh, and some gardening too. So just hang on, lizard. You'll have some uh, vegetation in here shortly. People make fun of me when I say I've got a grow room because that
Wow,
usually.
that's what I was like. What are you growing weed?
Well, Louisiana, we're backwards. We're one of the, I don't know, about half the states now it's recreational use. In Louisiana, you can still get arrested for it if it's over a certain amount. And it's so stupid. Even when I was a police officer, I wasn't against marijuana use. It could have easily have been the national drug, but alcohol was able to win that battle. But alcohol, oh my God, I don't abuse it. But when I was a police officer, alcohol was a part of every call I'd go on, domestic disturbances. Usually the person's drunk. And I don't know, people that smoke pot, they're laid back, don't cause any trouble. I don't know. It'd be a much better drug than alcohol. So, and I guess we're making the transition. What about in Canada? Is there a marijuana use there, or is
Oh
it
yeah, they legalized it. Yeah.
it is nationwide?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. Any amount? Can you grow it, or is it still regulated to a point?
It's still regulated to a point. You can only grow so much. Um, and yeah, I don't do it, so I don't know all the different rules that they've got. I just know that they've made it. Um, it's worse out there now. You smell it a lot more than you used to before. And I, you know, I find it funny that they came out and legalized it, yet they're clamping down on cigarette smokers and saying, they want to stamp this out. It's like, well, you've just opened up another avenue for smoking. Like anything that you're inhaling in is bad for you. So
Mhm.
why would you do that? Right? And they did it for votes. And they got in and they've been in for 10 years, and that was their goal, was to get in. Um so I don't understand that. It's the same with the vaping. There's vapes everywhere that you
Oh my
go.
God, yeah.
And that's again, you're breathing in these chemicals and the stuff in it's like I it just doesn't make sense when they focus on that cigarette smoke and say, "Oh, okay, we need to get people to quit doing that," yet they let the other stuff happen. It's like, what are you doing? Like, be consistent, you
Yeah.
know?
Well,
Um,
tobacco's like alcohol. The tax that's collected on tobacco and alcohol in the United States is just tremendous. So uh, the our state police in Louisiana, probably half of their salary is off tobacco tax. So what do you do? Yeah.
well, yeah, I mean, that's gotta be it, is the government's making money off it, and that's why they haven't out and out banned it. I mean,
Right.
what they could do is they could do what they're doing, I think it's New Zealand, um, where they've made it cut off now. And they said, anybody born now, they'll never be able to legally smoke.
Really?
Period. They won't be able to buy them. They won't be able to smoke them. And so then you keep the people that are already allowed to smoke and stuff like that, so they can't go, oh, they banned it that year. Um, so then eventually it ages out of the population.
I never thought of that. That's a great idea. That's kind of like the transition from fossil fuel to electric. Uh, you set a time where you can no longer drive fossil fuel vehicles. It has to eventually come to be. Um,
Well, they could do that except for except to make those electric vehicles right now, you need fossil fuel vehicles to be able to
oh
do all
yeah,
the mining for the batteries and the
yeah,
and you still need gasoline to create the plastics and that it's just, and the lubricants and there's all this other stuff that goes with it. So I heard
oh,
somebody the other day, I don't know if it was BS or not. It was on YouTube, so it had to be true. Um, but they were talking about right now, if you got rid of all fossil fuel videos, or sorry, videos, all fossil fuel vehicles,
vehicles.
that would only cut the carbon emissions by 10%.
Mm.
Because you still need to do all that other stuff. You still need to make the plastics, you still need to make the lubricants, you still need to, have the stuff for mining and stuff like that. So it's like,
And it even goes into pharmaceuticals, if I'm not mistaken. Oil is just a part of our life.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay, so let me see. Does AdSense send us a W-2 at the end of the year for taxes? Canada doesn't get anything from YouTube. I think there might be for the US.
I don't know yet.
Is this your first year monetized? Or were you monetized last
No,
year?
no, well, that's right. I did get what's it called? A W-9. I can't remember the name of the form. Um, you get it electronically. I did turn it in, but I didn't make enough last year. You have to make over $500 to be
Yeah.
taxed. So this year I'll probably be paying some YouTube tax. But I don't know
There you
if
go,
I
Jimmy.
can.
They do send you something.
But if I could deduct anything, I'm gonna have to talk to my tax guy. I've got cameras, all kinds of equipment that I could use uh, to whittle that down if I can.
I'm tracking it all. So what I did, let me since I got monetized and started making a little bit, because I got to claim all of it in Canada. Let me do this. Let me share my screen. Go here. Share. So I just create a spreadsheet here. Let me know once you see it.
So you keep track of all your expenditures.
So yeah, so I've got all the gas on my trips, and
Oh my God.
I do the start kilometers, the end kilometers, so the total, the cost. I've got the receipt number. You have to have the number of kilometers in Canada, so I wrote that down. So this is not all the trips I've been on. This is after I read the rules and I went, oh, damn it. So um, I've done that. Any supplies that I've got. Again, this is from when I was monetized, and I still need to fill out some more that I've got since this. But yeah, I'm writing down all the little things that I put into my videos, and then any equipment. So I bought a new Gorilla Pod because one broke. So and I've got the taxes split out and stuff like that. Um, Product that's given that counts as money, and it counts as money as both in the in the U.S. as well. Whatever they give you, that counts as funds that they've paid you. So if you get an e-bike and it's worth $2,000, you've been paid $2,000.
Uh, there would have to be some trail to that, though. I don't know how the IRS here in the States would be able to detect that, except
Well, if
watching
you
my
came
video.
and said, "Where'd you get that bike?" and then you
Mhm.
show it on your and you've got it on your channel saying, "Such company gave me this."
Oh my goodness, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to go that far. But see, here's
Well,
the thing.
I've never heard good things about the IRS.
Well, one good thing about it, if you're not intentionally committing fraud, what they're going to do is say, you should have paid on this. Here's the bill. And they'll attach probably some penalty and interest. But that's not good. I'm not saying that's good, but you're not going to get in like fraud trouble, like defrauding the IRS that way. Uh, Now, the administration that we have currently coming in, uh, they basically would like to get rid of the IRS. So I don't think the IRS is going to be getting enough funding to harass the population the next 4 years.
Well, yeah, you'll see, see what happens, eh?
We'll see what
but
happens.
but
That's
yeah,
that's
I've got it. I've got it all. You know, I've split it out. I've got it ready to go, and it's just a way to keep
I,
track.
I've never been that meticulous with record keeping. If I am ever audited by the IRS, I'm going to be embarrassed, to say the least. Uh, the thing is, retired, uh, they really have no recourse. They can't take any wages. They can only take from my Social Security, um, and I believe they can only keep 15% of that if I owe taxes. So. Um, I don't worry about it too much.
Yeah, but you're gonna make the big YouTube dollars, so
I may have to start keeping better track of that.
yeah,
I wasn't thinking. Um,
it's 2025. Just start thinking about it.
well,
Especially because this year you're gonna start charging people for your videos.
I'm gonna test the waters with that. We'll see.
Start charging them. You're gonna start charging them for those ones that say, "Hey, we've got this fancy little knife," and you can say, "Yep, I'll do that. $150."
I'll try it. I've got the e-bike to get. I'll be happy just to get it. I've got a saying about the e-bike industry that I can't say over this conversation, but they really hang on to those e-bikes. They don't sling them out at you. I think the Blue Eddy that I got was a mistake they made. Truthfully, they didn't look at my channel closely enough. But I ain't complaining.
It's up
That's
to them. That's up
I
to them to
mean,
check it out.
yeah,
So,
I think I asked you about that once in a text, and
yeah, yeah.
you advised me it's not your business to tell them anything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they should have checked your channel, and they must have liked what you're doing for shorts, right? You could say, "Hey, because yeah, that's
Oh
the way
well.
I look at it."
Well, when I do appeal to certain people, there's a few companies, uh, Fire Maple. Let's see, Fire Maple. Who else was it that I actually contacted and sent them like a little resume, so to speak?
Yeah.
And I've gotten products that way. I didn't wait. I went after it. And there's one other company I can't think. Oh, White Duck. The They make tents and what have you. I actually sent them an email.
Really? I've never heard of them.
White Duck. It's a Chinese company, of course. Everybody we're doing business with is Chinese, it seems, and they make some great products. Canvas. They use cotton duck treated canvas for their tents. Um, Outfitters, a lot of your hunting guides and what have you will set
Yeah.
up and they sell stuff like that.
It's
Larger,
their
larger tents. Of course, they sell small stuff too, down to tarps. Jamie got a tarp from, and that's what gave me the idea. But yeah,
I've got a bunch of ones from those more scammier companies that are offering different things, and I've just been ignoring them because I don't trust them. But one of them, I got a new one that came in and said, "Hey, we've watched your channel. We like your channel. We'd like you to show off our product. It's our lineup of sex dolls."
that
What the hell is that? How am I going to show that on my channel? What? And
yeah.
they said, "Oh, you don't have to do anything, plus 18 on it or illegal. You could show yours. You could show the doll and then you massaging it or
Oh
whatever." And
my
it's like,
god,
oh my God. No, I can't do that on my channel.
that could ruin a channel.
Jeez. And
Um,
and it was funny because at first I saw him and I was like, they show the dolls and I'm like, what is this? Is this like for dressmaking or something like that? And then I get to the next, first couple, and then also the next one is like, whoa, 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 that one's naked and bent over. That's not dressmaking.
Now that's some of them are high dollar items too.
Well, maybe I should get a free one then.
Um, no, I got one of those a few months back, and I laughed it off. I have an outdoor channel, and things like that are done outdoors, but I don't think anybody that watches my channel expects that. But uh, I was surprised.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So,
but YouTube YouTube's got its racier area. I mean, I've gotten, I don't know how, maybe I did a search that put it in the algorithm, and I've gotten a few racy things in my feed uh, that I was surprised to see on YouTube. They don't like nudity, but they just about.
oh, those girls with the that go out hiking or whatever, and then they show like, oh, I'm just skinny dipping in the water, and they show the backside or whatever. It's like, what are you doing? This is not an outdoor channel.
Well, those I detest because, any pretty lady is going to get a lot of views. But then you have a couple, and I know you've heard of these. Is it Ella Rita, Sharita? What is her name? Ella Rita. She's an Asian lady that's very proper, pretty as can be, but she does, honest to goodness, outdoor videos. And I'm sure people watch her because she's pretty. There's nothing wrong with that. But she cooks good, and she does great,
Oh,
great.
Miss Lisa is watching, so be good, Uncle Joe.
Well,
Even
um,
though Jamie said, "Yeah, I heard that those dolls have high resale value, but I don't know how you'd incorporate it into your channel."
now that would probably be one you could scam them and say, "Yeah, I'll take one and just get one for free," and just I don't want to mention names, but there's one channel he just keeps sending them emails. It's in the works, it's in the works until they finally quit sending emails, and he just that's. I've got a few things that I never fulfilled the obligation. It wasn't intentional. It's just you get so far behind in everything. Uh, the last flashlight they sent me, I never got around to. But I will. It's a great flashlight. It is so bright that you could shine it at something in the daytime and see the beam. That is very unusual. I've never seen a
There you
flashlight
go.
that bright.
Can you light something on fire with it?
Yeah. Uh, no, I guess you could take the battery out and do that battery trick.
Oh, yeah.
But I've got writer's block. I guess that's what you would call it. I used to be able to come up with a video per day, and I just don't have it anymore in me. Um, I've got some plans for more Zippo lighter videos. Um, I've seen some Zippo videos with views in the 100,000s, couple in the millions, and they weren't very well made. Of course, that's old stuff. That's old, been there. Uh, I won't get those views. You have to be the pioneers and stuff like that, I think, to get those numbers of views. But I'm still going to do it. See what happens. Zippo lighters. And I want more cooking. I'd like to do more cooking.
Yeah.
Um, But shaving fat wood and lighting it with a ferro rod, I've just done so much of that. It just seems to me, what do they call that? Repetitive, derivative,
Yeah.
somewhere. Um, I
So now
know.
you're gonna make something explode. That's what I'm telling you. Make something explode.
Make a fireworks with fat wood.
Well, yeah, get some gunpowder and see if you can light that on fire
Mm.
with the ferro rod. Have a little, do a little trail of it and follow it along as it goes.
Like dominoes, just watch it go along
Yeah.
a trail. Um, Now that ferro rod, for some reason, that that is the star of YouTube. You could flint and steel, bow drill, gets good views, but anything with a ferro rod, for some reason, you could just spark the son of a gun and probably get 5,000 views. Uh, it's
I'm gonna
crazy.
do it. I'm gonna do it. See if I can get 5,000 views.
Try it. Uh, Light something with it, but you'll be surprised. As long as ferro rod's in the title and the description and you showing it in the thumbnail that shows up, uh, it's gonna
Oh,
get views.
do you pick your specific thumbnails?
And in shorts, you can do that now.
Yeah,
You
I'm just
can't.
asking. So do you do that? You actually go and pick the right one?
Yeah, I try to. You pick it within
Yeah,
the
within
video.
the app.
Yeah, in the app. Um, I've experimented with uh, actually creating a thumbnail. You could put a little short still at the end or the beginning. That's your thumbnail, but it didn't seem to help the video, so I think it's a waste of time.
Yeah, I heard that the way some people are doing that is they put the short still either at the beginning or the end. Then they go and pick that for the thumbnail. And then once that's done, then they go and delete that bit out. They remove that frame.
Well, it didn't seem to help, so I'm not
So
worried about that. I just pick out something interesting within the video. And they've got the 3-minute shorts now, but not in the
yeah.
app yet. Now, Android, I think Android has it within the app, but they usually phase it in um, through different platforms.
Yeah, the 3-minute video is there for Android. Yeah.
But but if I make a video 3 minutes long and vertical, less than 3 minutes, vertical or square, it could be square. Um, it'll go in the shorts feed.
Are
I have to,
you are you putting that stuff up on Instagram as well?
I when I think about it, yeah. Now when
Yeah, you
I put
should.
it,
It's the same thing. You should just post it there on YouTube and also on Instagram.
and somehow when I post to Instagram, people on Facebook. So I must have done something where Instagram is posting it automatically to Facebook.
Well, yeah. You can have it set up like that. Yeah.
Well, I must have set it up because I'll get comments on Facebook. Great video, Joe. Um, Social media, it's an amazing thing, but it does require quite a bit of knowledge, just like what we're on tonight. I didn't understand what we were doing, but you've gotten into it. I can't even remember the platforms now, the apps.
Can't believe you don't remember the name of this. Ninja.
Ninja, ninja. But then it's within something else. OBO, what
Yeah,
is it?
it's video.ninja, so it's ninja, and then OBS.
OBS.
And what does that stand for? I'm sure it stands for something. OBS, OBS.
So
Uh,
Ninja has to go through OBS.
Open Broadcaster Software. That's what it is. Yes. Ninja. Um, Ninja is just a website. Like you logged into it. That website. That's all it is, and that just sends it stream to like OBS, grabs it from there, and then I just stream to YouTube from there.
From OBS, but
Yeah.
Ninja won't go directly to YouTube.
No, I don't think so. No, you have to go through OBS.
See that's what I mean. That could be confusing for me.
Oh, Bex Explorers, Happy New Year to you as well. So, was there somebody up here earlier? No. All right. So, sorry, what was your question? I just saw that come up.
I think I made a statement. It's just hard for me to follow all of that. Bex
So,
Explorers.
so YouTube Studio is where we set up our live stream, get it ready to go, and then instead of streaming it there, we use OBS because that way we can organize the screen the way it is and put all these different things in it. And then to actually get the videos coming in, I'm getting that from the Ninja. So Ninja's just
Ninja.
grabbing the videos, is getting the videos itself. OBS is doing the presenting of those videos. So it's grabbing them, putting side by side, um, and then putting my channel name and the donate buttons and all that sort of stuff. It's putting all that stuff on there, and then it shoves all that stuff into YouTube.
So basically, well, I forgot what I was going to ask. YouTube Studio doesn't offer the same uh, capabilities as Ninja and OBS.
That's right.
Okay. So you just broadening the capabilities where you could
Yeah,
customize and add, like you could have 3 or 4 other people in this chat.
I believe we could have as many as the computer hardware will allow. Yes. Well, yeah, you could have 20.
My goodness.
Like it's
Um,
just that's what I'm saying. It's as much as the hardware, as much as your hardware memory and stuff like that will be able to handle. It'll allow you to do it.
Now there's another one that I see. I've watched lives where it's like a duck's head. What's the name of that app?
StreamYard.
Okay, now you could have so many up to then you have to get a paid version to have more than say 2 or 3 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they'll say, "Oh, well, we record the videos." Well, that's fine. OBS does that here. So I'm streaming right now to YouTube, but I could, if I wanted, I could also be recording this at the same time on my computer. I don't because it's a live stream. I'm fine with what YouTube has it, and I can download it from YouTube if I want it. But yeah, it does that. It does some. I mean, this OBS basically does the same with the Ninja now. It'll do the same thing that StreamYard does.
Uh, can you play with this without having to go live? I mean, uh,
Yeah, yeah. I was doing that all day today, trying to get it set out, and that's why
well,
that's why I said, well, now I've done that. Now I want to try it live.
okay. Well, I'm gonna play with it once I get this room set up. Um, because it does make a difference. Like I'm looking behind you and I'm seeing lighting and effects that,
Yeah,
you have to have it kind of set up. Like what you see behind me now is, I don't know, pretty, uh,
That'll be
No.
fine. That's fine.
Dull. Uh, but that's gonna be painted gray. The table's gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be a darker or a lighter gray. And I'll have some shelves back here. And let me show you this. Have you heard of
Let's see if
this?
let's see if he's watching. Yeah.
Look,
Yeah, I've heard of that. Don't say anything. Don't say it. See if he's watching. Yeah, I've heard of that. That's w
this, this, look at the number on it. Let's see if I got it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Signed and everything.
This one day when he's as big as Mr. Beast, I'll be able to put this on eBay.
Jimmy Boy is always watching.
I'll be able to put it on eBay and take a world trip.
Well, yeah, with number 1,
Number one.
for sure. Yeah.
Do you know that there was a man in Alexandria that had the number 4 Mustang off the assembly line here, and I sat in it. He didn't let me drive it, but I sat in the number 4, the 4th Mustang off the. What is that doing now?
What?
Instagram just put something up on my screen. Um, that was amazing. It was a white convertible, just like number 1. Beautiful Mustang, and it was a pristine. I mean, I don't even know if he had mileage on it. He just had it, and there ain't no telling what that would be worth today. Number 4th off the assembly line.
Have to ask Jay Leno. He'll know. He'll know how much it's worth.
Jay Leno, that son of a gun owns some automobiles.
Yeah, he does.
He has a place as big as a dang mall for all that he's bought. Motorcycles too. Must be wonderful.
Well, yeah. All right, I think we gotta go. I gotta eat.
What
I haven't
time
had
is it?
dinner.
Oh, it's
It's
1:30.
11:20. I haven't
It's
had dinner
one.
yet.
Oh my goodness, it's 1:30. Well, as always, Age, I enjoy our conversations. I appreciate you inviting me to this.
Thanks for jumping on, Joe. That's good. Yeah. So now we know how this works, and I'll play around with it so I can get it so that it
When I
shows you the same thing that's getting put out there, because that would be a lot easier.
when I get this room finished, I'll see if I could invite you to a live.
All right.
Now that's a few months down the road.
Well,
But for,
yeah, just make sure you take care of the lizard first. Make sure you find him a new home.
well, I don't see him. He moved on somewhere. He's probably up in that plant.
It's
Part of this room will be plants. You'll see plants along with lights. So it will be a grill room. All right. Well, thank you
all right,
again.
man.
And I don't know how
Thanks.
you shut it down. I guess you'll be shutting it down.
I'll just stop streaming here. So I'll say goodbye to everyone. Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year.